Okay.
So everyone come to a tall supportive seat. Whatever that looks like for you is fine. If you want to have your legs crossed, sit on your chair or sit on the floor. It doesn't really matter. If you are on a chair, I recommend not crossing at the ankles or at the knees. Unless you want to sit like cross-legged, then go for it. If you're on the floor and it feels like your tail is tucking down underneath you, or like your pelvic bowl is tipping backwards so the water would spill out behind you, I would recommend sitting on a book or a block or something that lifts your pelvis up a little bit higher and allows the knees to fall more open. And then the water would spill forward and your tail feels like it might be poking out behind you a little bit, just exaggerating that natural curve of the low spine there. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears a few times. And next time your shoulders are down, keep them down. Lots of space between the tops of your shoulders and the bottoms of your earlobes. Keep your elbows bent, hands resting maybe on your legs, or one hand could be on your belly, one hand on your chest, hands together, anything that feels comfortable or right. Let your gaze go forward and slightly down, almost like you're tucking your chin physically down and back. Grow even longer in the back of the neck and through the top of your skull. Let your gaze land on something ahead of you that's not moving, and then lock your attention there and start to soften the muscles around your eyes and your jaw and your mouth. And you might notice right away there's a tendency to let the eyeballs look around to continue to take in your surroundings, and that's okay, that's natural. But do as often as you can bring your attention straight ahead of you to that spot and to re-soften the muscles around the eyes. Good. And once you've kind of settled into yourself, separate yourself mentally from what you were doing so you can come fully now into what you are doing. And start to become aware now of everything that you see, whether your eyes are open or shut. You don't have to label all the objects, just notice shapes, colors. Notice the sources of lights and shadows. Notice where the other objects and people are in relation to your body. Notice where the windows and the doors are in relation to your body. Notice all the noises that you can detect. Start with what sounds like it's furthest away from you, maybe even outside. And then notice the noises that are closer to you. And then notice the noises just in your own personal bubble of space. Maybe there's no noise. Maybe there's just a slight noise from your breathing. What can you detect there? Sense the air around you, where it touches your skin versus where clothing is touching your skin. Notice the pressure of your body on your feet and your seat. Notice your spine again. See if you've started slumping or lost that tall feeling, and make any little adjustments you can to find a really long spine again. And then settle your attention on your breathing body. Not just the front of your body, notice also the sides, under your armpits and your ribs and your waist. Notice your back as you breathe. 360-degree experience of breathing in and out without changing the breath. Just notice it, watch it. And then if you wish, you could start to interact with the breath with a little more intention by drawing your breath in lower and deeper than normal and allowing the exhale to get a little bit longer than usual, maybe half a beat or a beat longer. Don't force the breath to become long and full. Imagine allowing the breath to become bigger and deeper and longer. Maybe you notice resistance in your body somewhere. That's normal. Maybe the breath isn't perfectly long and deep and smooth. That's normal. The reason you come to movement classes in yoga is to move the body in a lot of different ways to create more movement and more ease for the breath. So just keep taking inventory of what it feels like to breathe now, and you'll continue to do that through the rest of class and at the end of class to see if your physical practice makes a difference in the breath. One more round like that. And then return back to your normal passive breath. Allow your eyes to blink open if they haven't already. Notice anything left over so far. The lights might look a little different. Your body might feel a little different. And then if you choose to do some of the movement through the rest of class, we'll start that section now. So if you're in a chair, I recommend scooting forward more to the edge of your seat so that you have way more room behind you and in front of you. But remember, if you're on the floor, to keep moving your legs around so your toes don't fall asleep and stuff like that. If you're in a chair, firmly plant your feet underneath your knees and try to keep your knees in line with your hips so you feel mostly anatomically neutral. But again, if something's more comfortable, like a wider knee or a more narrow, then do that. Inhale really tall through the spine. Exhale, let the right ear come towards the right shoulder. Just the weight of the head. The shoulders are staying down. Good. Options as you stay. You could be totally still. You could rock your nose down and then back to neutral. You could reach away with your opposite left arm. Elbow bent, elbow long. You could do something I didn't mention. When you're ready, inhale to the center and exhale, other side. Try to do the same practice on each side. So whatever you did with your arm or any movement, try it on this side, noticing the differences. Keep breathing no matter what you chose. Keep noticing. And inhale back through the center. This time, exhale, look to the right. So turn your whole face towards the right side of the room. And maybe you pretend there's a marker on your nose so you can draw circles, little or big, but move slow with intention. Breathing still. Go the other way too. Softening your face, breathing in and out, deep and smooth. And when you're ready, inhale back to the center, exhale to the other side as well. Other way too. And when you're ready, inhale back to the center. This time, exhale, stay really tall, but tuck your chin. Stay here for a moment, just breathing really big into the top of your back and in your shoulders. Maybe you place your fingertips on the back of your skull. Maybe you draw your elbows close. Keep your hands where they are. On your next inhale, open your elbows out to the side and cradle your head while you look up. So your hands hold the weight of your head, elbows are wide. And then exhale, round the top of your spine, close your elbows and look down. Inhale, open, look forward and then up. Cradle your head. Exhale, round and closed. Follow your own breath. Do 3 more. Slow and careful. When you're done with that, come back to the center, looking straight ahead. Let your elbows come out and point your fingertips towards the sky. One at a time, swim your shoulders down and back so they're sliding towards each other behind you. The chest might feel broad. And notice your low back as you stay here. See if you're like dumping into the low back and even letting the shoulders kind of weight pull you back further. And instead, imagine tucking the tail slightly and zipping your abdomen together in the front so you feel really long and supported in the low spine, even though you feel broad in the front of the body. Notice if it makes a difference. Good. Identify just your right arm. And once you have it, lower the fingertips down only towards the floor. And then inhale, bring them back up. Other side. Exhale, lower the left fingertips down. And inhale, bring it back up. Do 1 more on each side, just noticing. Matching up your movement with your breath as best you can. Good. And then let the hands come down by your sides, really pulling them out of the shoulder sockets, reaching past the fingertips towards the floor. Make your mountain pose. So pushing into your foundation, strengthening the muscles holding you together from the waist down, lifting up higher through the crown of the head. Shoulders are super heavy, arms reaching down and away. Maybe if you're on the floor, you're touching the floor or you bring the arms to hover. Soften your face again. Breathe in and out a few times in your mountain pose. You might even imagine your body as that big triangular mountain shape. Firmer and heavier from the waist down, lighter, pointier from the waist up. Good. And then see if you can easily touch down on something to the sides of your body. If not, adjust your blocks or your seat so that you can. We're going to go for the 6 spinal actions now. So when you're set up for that, look straight ahead again in your mountain pose and identify 1 more time your right arm. And this time, inhale, bring your right arm either out or up. If it's up over shoulder height, then also lift your shoulders up away from the hips. Stay here for a moment. Reach both arms in opposite directions, almost like they're getting pulled in both directions. And next time you exhale, carefully lean over towards the right. Let your fingertips touch down. That might be enough for you. You might like palm down. You might like to bend the elbow. You might like to reach away on the floor, further away. But remember, the point isn't to like lean over as far as you possibly can. You want to keep your hips on the floor or your chair. You want to open your heart to the front and drive sensation into the side of your rib cage and the side of your waist and into the spaces between the ribs. Breathe really big into those spaces. Make as curvy C shape as you can on that side of your body and soften your face. 1 more breath. And then inhale, brace through the core and come all the way back up. Exhale, lower your arm back down. If you get that whooshy feeling, that's normal. Let everything come back to neutral. Take a breath. And then we'll do that on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale either out to the side or up overhead. If it's overhead, really reach the shoulder girdle up away from the hip. Make your waist as long as you can before you exhale and lean to the left. Maybe try what you did on the other side, keeping in mind you might need to accommodate to make it more comfortable or stable for you. Still pushing down into whatever's touching down. Not just collapsing the right shoulder and waist, but still lifting up and away from your right hip. Pushing more into the side of your body, like you want to unweave that basket and spread the ribs as far apart from each other as you can, just by breathing big into that part of your body. One more breath. And then brace through your core and inhale, come up all the way before you exhale, lower it back down. Notice any sensations that are left over, the whooshing or the throbbing or whatever it is. Come back to neutral, just notice. Good. Hands on your knees. On your inhale, bring your belly forward, chest comes forward, eyeballs look up, maybe the eyebrows lift, maybe the face reaches forward and up as well. Exhale, round your shoulders more than you tuck your tail, look down towards your belly. Back and forth now. Follow your own pace. Inhaling to that cow pose, squeeze the shoulders towards the hips. Exhale, big C curve, big upside down U, whatever you want to call it, like a black cat on Halloween. Flexion and extension of the spine, following your pace, dictated by your breath, not worried about how fast or slow you should be moving. Take your time with it. Maybe you want to stay in one position or another. One more round like that. When you're done, be done and come back to a neutral spine. Option to keep going if it feels good and it's working for you. Now let's try the twist. So on your inhale, bring your arms out to a T. Exhale, twist to the right, just using the muscles in the belly. Try not to use your arms to twist further. So a good way to check to see if you're doing that is to just lower your arms, take the arms out of the equation, put your fingertips at the center of your heart, and then like a fern uncurling, like unravel through the elbows and reach your arms straight out from the center of your chest. And maybe look back at your fingertips and see if they're where you thought they would be. Option to keep your arms lifted if you want to work. If you want to rest, bring your arms down. Maybe you reach across to the opposite knee and hold on to the floor behind you or your chair behind you. But remember, you're not yanking yourself further into the twist. Each time you exhale, squeeze through the belly. And then inhale to open. All the way back to the center, nice and slow. Put your arms down, take a breath in neutral. Notice anything left over. You might feel a little uneven, that's normal. And then when you're ready, do the other side. So inhale the arms out and then exhale, twist. And if you want to, the hips can shift. You don't have to keep the hips perfectly pointed towards me, towards the front of the room. You could let them come with you a little bit. Maybe you test your arms again. Maybe you look back, see if your fingertips are where you thought they would be. Maybe the arms come out of the equation altogether. Couple more rounds here, just getting as long as you can, even though you're twisting, breathing in and out, even though it might feel constricted or more difficult to breathe as you squeeze the middle of your body. And then inhale as you're ready, all the way back to the center, and exhale, hands can come down. Roll your shoulders again if you wish, take a few breaths. Notice what's left over through the center of your spine or in the sides of your waist. Maybe feel it somewhere else. Just take inventory again. Good. Forward fold. So from wherever you are, inhale to get taller, and then exhale, tuck your chin, round your shoulders, and move forward so that your belly and chest are resting over your legs. Now, if you wish, you could put your elbows on your knees and cradle your head. Or you could fold forward more and let the head and arms kind of dangle and be heavy. This could be a little, this could be a lot. Breathe big into the back of your body as you kind of constrict the front of your body here. And remember, your lungs are bigger physically in the back half of your body. So see if you can breathe so big that you feel yourself almost like lifting up out of the forward fold, and then exhaling, you sink a little more into it. Yeah, head might be really heavy like a bowling ball on a string. Shake your head yes a little bit. Shake your head no a little bit. Good. And you're going to come out the opposite of how you came in. So you're going to go low back first, unraveling, middle back stacks on top, upper back stacks on top, and then the shoulders and the head come up last. Again, really big shoulder rolls here. And then let your arms rest, looking straight ahead, noticing anything that's left over. If you get a little lightheaded, you can always tuck your chin down, give your neck a little squeeze. Good. Everyone grab your strap. And open it up so you have one side in each hand. Probably a little bit wider than shoulder distance. Do you need one? Good. Good. Okay, so pretty good grip on your strap so you don't lose it. Next time you inhale, simply lift your arms up overhead, lift your shoulders too, and exhale, lower it back down in front of you. So just a couple times, inhaling to lift it all the way up, creating a lot of space in the sides of your body, and exhaling to lower it. One more time like that. Good. Now this time, inhale to lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, bend your elbows so the strap comes behind you, not like to blind you in front of you. Inhale to lift. Exhale, bend the elbows, bring it back down. One more. Remember to stitch together the front of your belly and your low back stays long. And this time stay with the elbows bent and pull with your hands like you're trying to rip the strap in half. You might get some shaking. That's normal. See if you can relax your face and unclench your jaw more, even though it's kind of a weird sensation. Broader through the front of your chest. Squeeze your shoulders together behind you. Elbows might come down a little more in space. Good. And then inhale to lift. Exhale, lower the strap down in front of you. Maybe you roll your shoulders again, give them a tiny break here. And now let's do our asymmetrical flossing where we have one elbow up, one elbow down. So I'm going to turn around so you can see behind me, all the action happens behind you. So sometimes it helps to see a demonstration in front of you. Okay, so take your strap, one in each hand, lift the strap up, and then just let go with the left hand. So your left arm is dangling and the strap is behind you. Now start to bend the right elbow, reaching the elbow up and away from the shoulder and the hip. Take your left hand, place it behind the small of your back so you can hopefully find that strap. Now you might stay here, that's fine. You might start to inch your hands closer and closer together. Try to imagine the right hand coming down and the left hand coming up. I have to like leverage myself a little bit. Just do what you have to do. It's okay as long as it doesn't hurt. Some bodies will stop here with the hands a little bit closer together and focus on opening the chest broad and reaching the elbows in opposite directions. So your right elbow is reaching up towards the sky, left elbow is reaching down towards the floor. Good. Some bodies can inch the hands so they touch. Some bodies will interlace the fingers, but still, you're pulling the elbows in opposite directions and relaxing your face and squeezing the shoulders behind you and pushing down into your floor or your chair. Part of why this particular stretch is so effective is because it can get really uncomfortable, and it's a great opportunity to challenge yourself to remain calm with discomfort in the body. See if you can soften your jaw and your eyes even more. Good. Gently just let go and then bring your arms back to neutral. Hands dangling or resting in your lap. Take a breath. Notice anything left over. Notice any reactions you had, like stories or reactions to how it felt. Judgments like good or bad can be a little helpful, but try to focus on describing the sensations to yourself instead. And then we'll do that on the other side. So grab your strap again, one in each hand. Inhale, lift the arms up. This time, let go with the right hand so the left elbow is up. And don't be surprised if the two sides look or feel really different. That's normal, especially if you've had an injury. So the left elbow is reaching up towards the sky, up and away, up and away, up and away over time. I'm talking years, not 10 classes, 10 years. Right hand reaches behind the small of your back. Maybe you can find that strap. Either stay here or very slowly and with control and not forcing it, start to inch the fingertips closer and closer together over time. Now notice if you feel like rounded in the front of your body or the back, excuse me, like you're leaning forward. See if you can spread the hands out a little further away from each other so that you can get taller all the way from your tail to your crown. Maybe the fingers are almost touching. If they're almost touching but you can't quite grip, keep the strap. If you can interlace the fingers and hook them together, then you can let go of the strap. But elbows pulling apart in opposite directions as you stay tall and still smooth out the front of your face. One more really big inhale here. Pull everything apart and then exhale, just release. Let go of the strap, let your hands come back to neutral. Maybe you give your shoulders a roll. Notice what's left over. Okay. Okay, if you're interested in being on the floor today, we're now going to move to the low body and come to our butts on the floor, but you can stay in your chair too if you want. It's up to you. But if you're going to move to the floor, go ahead and move to the floor. Take your time. And before you lay down, we're going to do a few seated postures. Let's try some seated twists today. I don't think we've actually ever done them because we've always had people in a chair, people on the floor. But if we're all going to be down here, let's do some seated twists. So I'm going to face you. Okay, so feet out ahead of you. This is called stick pose. This is a pose, just sitting on your ass, okay? So you might move some stuff out of the way under your seat so that you feel sit bones on the floor. This is deceptively hard once we get into it, okay? But I'm essentially going to ask you to be like a plank of wood and be as stiff and firm as you can possibly be. So start with the low body. Straighten your legs to an extent. You can keep them bent if you feel a lot of stretching sensation in the backs of the hamstrings. That is fine. Push through the heels. Pull your toes back towards your body. If you can start to straighten your legs, you might straighten them so much that your heels come up off the floor. Some bodies, the way they're built, the heels lift up and there's space underneath, and that's okay. Now, travel your awareness up. Lift your kneecaps up towards your hips. Pull in and up on your pelvis like you have to pee, you can't find a bathroom. Pull in and up on the organs of the belly. Squeeze your shoulders behind you slightly. Broad chest, long spine through the crown. Now the arms. Push down into your fingertips or the palms of your hands near your hips so that you can stretch and strengthen through the arms at the same time. Gaze is super soft. And now maintain all of that stiffness and pressure and awareness as you stay and breathe. If you feel like you're tilting forward or like you're rounding, option is to take the fingertips slightly behind the line of your hips so that you can lean back a little bit further. Might make it more comfortable in the low back. Last breath here, reaching through the heels, reaching through the crown, pushing through the arms. And then exhale, release. Put your hands behind you. Maybe you kind of weeble wobble through the legs. Let some of that pressure out. Good. Now that you know what you're doing, let's do it one more time, okay? So feet together or apart, push through the heels of the feet, pull your toes back towards your body, really long, straight legs, as straight as you can get them, belly in and up, squeeze your shoulders behind you, and wherever it worked last time, now push into the floor. Soft face, like you don't care, really like a statue, even if you're efforting hard. Stay and breathe, belly in, shoulders together, push through whatever's touching the floor. Shaking is normal, heat is normal. Last big inhale, get longer through the feet and the crown, and exhale, release. Put your hands behind you, wiggle it out a little bit. Okay, now let's try a seated twist. So there's a lot of options for seated twists because our bodies are all super different. So take your right leg and bend the knee and put your foot down. If, like me, you get constriction from like flesh here, you have options to either take the knee more out to the right, like more out at an angle, or you can take your hand and like karate chop, I don't know how else to say it, karate chop your belly and then bend the knee again and you kind of squeeze it out of the way. Fat is super soft. It'll move wherever you push it. Okay? Now the options are where you hold on to your legs. So you can hold on to the front of the knee. We do this in boat, right? You can hold on to the front. Some bodies prefer to hold on to the back of the thigh. You can grab your pants, whatever works, but you're looking for length through the spine. So see if you can pull with your hands to get longer through your spine. Now let's try an open twist where you have more room and you're not squishing the organs so much. So let go with your left hand, open yourself, twist towards the left, and reach your left arm out from the center of your chest. Maybe you look over that fingertip back there. Stay long. Let your right knee be an anchor. Push through your left heel. Pull your toes back towards your body. Yeah. One more inhale here. Exhale, come back to the center. Now let's do a closed twist where we're twisting towards the leg. You're going to have a lot more pressure in the belly and the organs. So let go with your right hand this time. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist towards the right. Reach your right hand out away from the center of your chest. You could stay there or you could put the fingertips down on the floor and then you could kind of push into your hand to make you feel taller. And that could be pretty far away from your body or you could take your hand as close as touching your butt or your low back. Each time you inhale, get taller. Each time you exhale, squeeze through the belly. One more breath. Just notice what it's like. Keep the breath moving in and out. Good. Inhale, bring yourself back to neutral. Exhale, lengthen through your leg, hands behind you. Weeble wobble it out a little bit. Let the belly get super soft. Notice what it's like to just breathe big into the belly now that you're not constricting it anymore. Good. Other side. So bend the left knee, foot on the floor. You might karate chop your belly so it's out of your way, or you could physically move the leg more over towards the left just so you have way more room. Whatever's more comfy. Grab onto your pants or your knees. See first if you can get super tall. Push through the heel of your right leg. Pull your toes back towards your body. Smooth out your forehead. Let go of any expectation of what this side is going to feel like, and just notice what it feels like when you do it. Okay, so let go with your right hand this time. Open twist first. Inhale yourself to twist towards the right. You might look back at your right fingertips. Arm is not pulling you further. It's coming straight out of the center of your chest. Next time you exhale, close to forward. Switch hands. So I forgot to mention this, but I like to take my fingertips like a hook and hook it underneath my knee on the outside. It makes me feel like I can really pull. So you might try that if you felt like you were rounding or like falling or couldn't get a good grip. It's just a little tip. Okay. And then next time you inhale, open yourself for the closed twist, pulling the leg towards the body, squeezing the belly, reaching out towards the left fingertips, maybe looking back. Maybe you put the fingertips down or super close to the belly so you can push into the arm. Whatever you chose, you're looking for length. Exhaling, squeezing through the belly. Good options, everybody. Good. And then when you're ready, come back to the center. Let your leg go long and rest for a moment. Bend the knees, switch the feet, whatever you want. Coughing and tickles and all of that is normal when we're breathing into such different positions because you are literally creating extra space, and it can create sensations that lead to that. So just so y'all are aware, if you feel like it's normal, twisting, especially when you're new, is it can feel odd. It can feel really odd. Good. Okay, boat pose. So we've done something kind of extreme to each side. Let's do something symmetrical, something neutral to bring stability back to the middle of the body and especially the low back. So feet back on the floor. Both of them are bent this time. And you can grab your pants, top of your knees, behind your legs, whatever you want. Start to lean back, but keep your spine super tall, right? So you're not going to be looking forward anymore, or you'll start rounding forward. You're going to keep your neck neutral and let your gaze go ahead and up. Tuck your chin down and back. Maybe you can start to release pressure from the feet, either one at a time, carefully lifting and lowering with the breath, or hovering both feet at the same time. You can squeeze your legs together. You can let them be more apart. You could let go with your hands. You could start to straighten the legs. There's a lot of play here. Just see what happens. It's hard for everybody, so don't be dismayed by the idea that, oh, this is difficult. Yeah, that's the point, and it's hard for everyone. Just have fun with it as best you can while you keep your face soft and you keep your breath moving in and out. Squeeze your shoulders behind you. Pull your belly in and up. Tuck your chin a little more. Soften your eyebrows more. Last round of breath. And then carefully with grace, put your feet back down on the ground. Give yourself a hug. Maybe wrap your hands around your knees, curl into a ball. Let your belly get really soft, head can get heavy. And then inhale yourself back up to a tall spine. Let's do one seated forward fold before we go down onto the back side. So everyone bring your feet together. Soles of the feet together. Knees open out to the side. Now some bodies look more like knees up. Some bodies easily knees out to the side. It doesn't mean anything about you, okay? One tip is that if your knees are up and you feel like gravity is like ripping you apart, take the blocks and put them underneath your knees so that you have way more support underneath you. It just brings the floor right up to your legs. okay? And grab somewhere on your legs, it doesn't really matter, toes, ankles, legs, knees, pants, where you can pull yourself more forward and tall. Belly comes in and up. Squeeze your shoulders behind you. Let the shoulders pull down away from the ears. Good. Stay here and start to tuck the chin down to look down towards the belly and the chest. Stay tall for a moment. Another big round of breath here. And then release and lean forward. So some people like to take their hands on either side of the feet and kind of walk themselves a little bit more forward. Then you can push into your hands more. You can look for a longer spine, especially if you have low back pain. That might feel a little bit better for you. If you want, though, you can get really round, like the cat pose. And in that instance, you might hold on to your toes or your ankles, mindful to keep the elbows moving out, not in towards the belly because they will get in your way. Elbows out, and you can actually pull yourself more forward and round the back so the top of your head touches the inside of your feet. Again, it's an option, it's not the goal. The goal is to fold forward somehow right now. Notice what it feels like, where you feel it the most. Breathe big into the back of your body as you stay, especially when we're kind of constricting the front of the body. It can help you drive sensation and awareness to the back of the body. Stay and squeeze the buttocks and the hips to open your knees out more. Just notice what it feels like to engage with the muscles there instead of dumping into them. Pull up on your belly organs and your pelvis like you have to pee and you can't find a bathroom. Notice how that changes things. And then nice and slow and controlled, walk yourself up to a tall spine again. Hands on the outside of your knees, close your legs like a book, and with or without support from your hands, lower yourself down onto the ground. If you are using support, maybe like walk them back, and then you can put the elbows down, and then you can put the whole back on the ground. I'm going to stay lifted just so you can hear me better. But once you're down on the ground, let the whole back feel supported and heavy. Shoulders are down, hips are down. Knees could stay bent or you could lengthen the legs. Smooth out your forehead. And for a moment, stop doing yoga. Don't do anything. You might even open your eyes fully, like you're just walking around normally. Look at something on the ceiling. Notice a detail. Don't breathe in any certain way. Take yourself a little less serious. Good. And then engage in your yogic focus. Come back into your practice. Soften the eyes again, soften the face again, engage with your breathing again, and notice what it feels like to shift into that kind of intention. It might be energetic or physical, but just notice. Good. And identify your right knee and bring your right knee back for a hug. You can use your strap, you can pull on your pants, whatever. Knee can come straight back towards your belly or more out towards the armpit, just like we did when we were seated. Same thing, right? We're creating a squish on the right side of the belly here. So make room as best you can. Keep your hips and your shoulders and your head back and heavy and really pull now with your arms to squish harder. Maybe roll your ankle one way, couple rounds, slower than you think. And then go the other way too. And then place your foot back on the floor. And slowly slide your foot out so your leg goes long next to the other one. Pause and notice. Other side. Bend your left knee, put your foot on the floor, and then hug your left knee. Use your strap or your hands or your pants, whatever. Hips and shoulders and head are all back and heavy. Now give it a really good squeeze. Still breathing in and out, noticing where the breath has to go when you constrict just the left side of the belly and the chest. Maybe roll your ankle on this side if you did on the other leg. Go the other way too. Good. And then come to stillness. One more little squeeze here before you carefully put your left foot back on the floor. And a little inch at a time, lengthen through the left leg. Let it go super long. Pause and notice. Now both knees back for a hug at the same time. Hips and shoulders and head are all still back. Grab onto your pants, or you might grab your knees or interlace your fingers, or some people grab opposite elbows, anything that feels comfy. Option to be still or to rock side to side, or a little forward and back as long as it's controlled. Start to come to stillness again in the center. Give your legs both a squeeze at the same time, in, and then carefully put your feet back on the floor. Good. For a moment, take your feet wider than your hips, like maybe as wide as the mat, and let the knees fall in towards the middle, towards each other. And arms can rest down by your sides, palms facing up. They don't have to be right next to your hips. You can let the arms kind of float away to a Y shape or even a T shape. Yeah, constructive rest pose. So do your best to stay here and use as little muscular energy as possible to stay in this position. You might shift something now that you know. And do your best to hollow out the front of your belly. Let it get really soft, reacting only to the movement from your breathing body. Option to stay here or to elongate through the legs and separate your feet and your hands into like an X kind of shape where everything is reaching away from the center point of the belly button. And for a moment, imagine that your belly button is the exact center of you. It's where your breath comes from. It's where your body starts and ends. And see if you can imagine in your mind the breath starting at the belly button. As you inhale, it extends out towards your feet and your hands, maybe even past that. And then as you exhale, it comes right back to the center point, to the belly button again, until the end of the exhale. Navel radiating breath. Notice that physically or just energetically in your mind for 3 rounds. and then let go of that. Bring your arms back down by your sides. You could do palms face up, hands on the floor. You could do palms on your body, maybe your belly or your chest or one of each. You could change your legs to anything that's more comfortable where you can stay for a few minutes as we close class together. Either pick something ahead of you where you can stare, or you can shut your eyes halfway or all the way. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears again. Smooth out your forehead, unclench your jaw, unclench the fists and your feet. Let everything get soft and heavy as best you can. And as usual, we'll end class together with a short guided body scan meditation. But if something like a prayer or an affirmation is what you've been working with and you want to incorporate it into your yoga practice, this is a perfect time to do that. Everything is optional except your breathing. So if you're following along with me, begin by bringing awareness to the tips of your toes. Notice the bottoms of your feet. Notice the tops of your feet. Notice your ankles. Notice your lower legs. Notice your knees. Notice your upper legs. Notice your hips. Notice your buttocks. Notice your pelvis. Notice your belly. Notice your low back. Notice the sides of your waist. Notice your chest. Notice your upper back. Notice your shoulders. Notice your upper arms. Notice your elbows. Notice your lower arms. Notice your wrists. Notice the backs of your hands. Notice the palms of your hands. Notice all of your fingertips. Notice all the spaces between your fingertips. Notice the front of your throat. Notice the back of your neck. Notice the back of your head. Notice the top of your head. Notice your forehead, your temples. Notice your ears, your cheeks. Notice your jaw. Notice your chin. Notice your lips. Notice your teeth. Notice your tongue. Notice your nose. right eyelid, left eyelid, right eyebrow, left eyebrow. Notice the space between your eyebrows. Now that you've scanned your body one piece at a time, notice your whole body together as one big piece. Good. Now let go of that. Bring your attention to your body's weight on the floor. Without changing anything, just notice your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Let your body wake back up slowly and carefully. You might roll your wrists and your ankles or start to bend your knees, lengthen your legs, stretch or move any way that feels natural or necessary. Then carefully start to find your way to a tall seat again, whether that's in a chair or on the floor. Use as little effort as possible to push yourself up. Legs long, legs crossed, whatever. Just look for a long feeling in the spine again, like we did at the beginning of class. And then when you're there, maybe you roll your shoulders down and away again. I'll invite you to bring your hands together, either in a prayer-like position with your thumbs touching the center of your chest. You can stack your hands. Anything that feels good is fine. And look down or bow down towards your heart and your hands. And this motion is in gratitude of yourself. So give yourself a thank you just for showing up. Everything else was just practice. And remember, you have a body, but you're not just your body. You have a mind, but you're not just your thoughts. And you have emotions, but you're not just your feelings. As you're ready, let your hands come down. Your eyes can flutter open and up. Class is over.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. I'll stop the recording, and if you have any questions or concerns, you can let me know.